What's up, guys? Welcome back to Nitro Licks. Today's lesson is the late, great Jeff Buckley's 1993 power ballad, Forget Her. All right, we are tuned to E standard. The first riff in the song, it's like an A minor, bottom three strings. Do that twice. And then, so you've got your open E and then your open D and G. And then just bar across the E, A, and D on that third fret once. So okay. So that last time through the opening riff, you go open E and then 3. And then you go to the verse, which is an A minor chord. In the verses, we go back and forth from A minors to E minors, but there are differences. So that first time through, you've got so that's the top of an E minor. You just want to play those first 4 strings. So 2 on D and then open. And you want to strum it first and then right. Then we go back to the A minor, but now we want to throw in the high E. So and then we're back to E minor, but now the bottom of an E minor. So that's an open E and then 2 on A and D and then your open G. And of course from there you go to the chorus. You've got the but while we're on the verse, let's go ahead and knock out verse 2 because it is different. So you still do the A minors and the E minors, but we've got variations as we come back into the second verse, we go. Right, and that E, this time we're going to use the low E, and then D2, open G, and B3. Okay, but that little lick was. Okay, and that's coming out of that A minor. See, your fingers are already in position because if you've got your ring finger on your B or your G2, excuse me, and you've got your index on that B1 already, and it just goes. So start on that G2, come up to that B1, and then your B3, pick that and slide up to B5, E3, back to B5, pick that and then slide down to 3, B1, that's the end of the lick. So and then that E. See how that's different? Before, in the first verse, we were doing that. And then we did. Okay. But this time, it's both times you play your E minor. And that repeats because you do that again. Right. That's the second verse. Okay. Let's get into the chorus. It was a little trickier than I expected it to be. It's like I guess the first shape would be an A minor 7. So you're on your G2, B1, and E3. So that's the first shape of the chorus. So you're going to go. And when you lift up your pinky, lay that index finger like a double stop on 1 so that you've got the 1 on the high E there, right? So you want to go and then lift off of that E. You want it open. So and that was, you want to lay your pinky on B3 and then lift it up again. And then it comes up to like a B minor. 4 on G, 3 on B, 2 on your E. In the second chorus, it does this. You'll lift your index finger off that too, and it'll be an open E. Right? And then you've got this. Right? So kind of like a C chord. You're 3 on A and 2 on D, but then open. And then you want to bring in the B1 and then the B3. So, and then just hit that open high E, right? So, you could maybe, and then it's just your A2 and the rest open. And then again the B1 and the B3 and then the open E. Right, so it's okay, and then back to that main riff. Before we get into the solo, there's one more thing I want to show you. It's actually when we come out of the solo, which we're getting ready to learn. That's before we go into the chorus for the last time there at the end of the song after the solo. So after you've gone through that main riff, I believe it's maybe 7 times. The 8th time is E4, and then 2 on A and D. You do that twice, and then open E, and then just the bottom of an E chord. So right. She's somewhere out there now. All right, guys, let's move on to the solo now. It's in 2 parts. You've got a part that's more of the clean sound that he plays the rhythm parts with. And then you go into an overdrive, maybe use a distortion pedal for the second part of the solo that has a lot more gain, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate the first part, the clean part, and then we'll take it apart, and then we'll move on to the part with more gain, okay? So we come out of the... That's the first part. That's the clean part of the solo. So when you come out of that chorus, slide up to A7, D5, and D7. And then just, you're going to do a trill there between 5 and 7 on D. And then let it die. And then, like the top of an A minor or whatever. So. Okay, and then you've got, and that's D5, slide up to 7, and then grab G5, and then slide on G7 to G9, grab that B8, and then pick G9 again, slide down to 7, G5 and G4. And we've got this. You're barring across 12, and then the top string, or the high E's 14. That's all that is. And then you've got this. Okay, so G7, and then pick G9, and then pick it again and bend. Hold that bend, and then pick it again. Release it. G7, G9, D10. Okay, and you've got this. Slide up from G10 to 12. And you end this clean part on the A string. The A10 to the A12. Okay. Beautiful solo. Nice and simple and restrained. Some of the best solos are, right? I'm going to turn on my distortion pedal now. And now I'll demonstrate the part of the solo that has the gain on it, okay? So it's going to go like this. So we're going to start off with the unison bend on B5 and G7, and you're only going to bend the G string, right? So to make it a little easier, if you reinforce it and put that middle finger behind your ring finger instead of, if you use both of these fingers, you have more strength and more control. So see how when I released that, I went to a double stop there on 5, on B and G. And then I'm using my ring finger to throw in that G7. And I pull off to that double stop again. End on that double stop. Okay, and then we've got another unison bend, G12 and B13, right? You're gonna go. And like before, you only bend the bottom string. And when you release that, play the double stop. Okay, and then back to that earlier unison bend. Okay. So just do that. And when you release it, you're going to G7, pick that, pull off to G5, and then you're going to pick D7, you're going to pull off to D5. Okay? And then you end the solo with this. And that's your A5 full step bends. End when you release that, you want to come back to that A5, so you want to go. See, and then I'm just sliding up from E3 to E5, and then A3 to A5. End on that E5. I guess you could end on an open A if you wanted. It sounds better to use the E string. All right. All right, man. What a great song. Long live Jeff Buckley. He wasn't with us long, but he left us a lot of great music to listen to. Check out my channel. Got a lot of classic rock, country rock. Got alternative, metal, pop in there. We live it all at Nitro Licks. Thanks for watching. See you next time.